darkness is heavy. Some of us carry more than others because we're strong enough to hold the weight.
Get ready. We are going to remake the world.
Welcome to NocBro Nation.
Welcome back, guys. Daryl here.
And I'm Josh, and today we have Season 11B of The Walking Dead Q&A session, guys.
Yeah, so it's our first Q&A. We threw out a Twitter and on our community page for you guys to ask your questions before ahead of the February 13th AMC Plus release, a week early of Season 11B, and of course then February 20th for everyone else. So you guys posted your questions. We are going to answer these to the best of our ability, and we hope you guys enjoyed our last video about the multiverse. So here's some things that people said that in regards to character replacements. Well, they mentioned Judith. They mentioned Henry. Those weren't really character replacements because Judith was very young. They had to jump 6 years. That actress isn't going to grow that fast.
That's not quote unquote.
That's not a recast.
A recast.
Yeah. Recasting is meaning the original actor, they fired them or they had to leave, so they had to recast that character in replacement of. You know, an older Henry and older Judith isn't not really a recasting per se. They had to get
not
an
the type
older
of
person,
recasting that we were talking about.
Yeah.
Not that context.
But we appreciate it. So
for sure. That was a fun video.
It was a fun video. We hope you guys enjoyed it.
We went a little crazy.
We went a little crazy, yeah. So we are going to start from Twitter. I think we have about 14 questions on Twitter, and we have a little bit more on our we have a little bit more on our community page. So we'll start with our Twitter page. So could Tobias possibly be in Walking Dead 11B? I miss Tobias from Fear the Walking Dead, the kid that knew in episode 1.
Oh, yes.
The kid that knew what was going on to Madison.
So you're probably going to get a lot of, guys, look, I have a terrible memory. I think everyone knows that by now.
I'll remind you.
Thank you. That kid was badass. We just recently got finished talking about him in another video, too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Probably not, but we hope that he's out there somewhere.
I hope he's alive.
Yeah, I hope he's alive, too. Whose stories are you most interested in? Oh, I'm sorry, that previous one was by Memelo Hehe344. Excuse me. This next one is by Strange at Saints Chicken for Eve. Whose stories are you most interested in seeing how the show wraps them up? Will Judith tell Daryl about Rick? Will anyone get Rick's ending, and if so, who? How will you feel if the show ends with no Rick? Well, let's go with the first one. Let's go with the first one. Whose stories are you most interested to see the show wraps them, or how the show wraps them up?
Judith. That's the biggest one, just because it deals with Rick so much, and I'm really curious to see. Like we talked about this in previous videos. Like Daryl and I cannot imagine a world where Judith ends this series without her mother and father. So obviously, looking forward to that. In a close second, I'm looking forward more to Negan, actually. Negan and Maggie.
That's kind of what I was going to say, too. Negan and Maggie, yeah. In the source material, Negan wasn't really there. We saw like a silhouette of him. That was it. Maggie, we know kind of how she turned out. She became the president of the Commonwealth.
Madame.
What's that?
Madame.
Madam President. Madam President.
I said
Excuse
Madame.
me. Yeah, I mean, we kind of know how Daryl's story is going to wrap up. He's going to have a spin-off in Carol.
That's why I didn't mention them.
Exactly.
Because we're going to get more of them.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Aaron.
Judith, Aaron, Negan, Maggie, Father Gabriel.
We just named all of them.
Everyone, really.
No, but really, mostly Judith.
Yeah, for sure. The second part question was, will Judith tell Daryl about Rick?
That's why we're wanting to know. I think she does.
Maybe, I'd say maybe not in part B, maybe part C. But if it happens, it needs to happen.
It would all depend on other circumstances too.
Yeah.
If they're not going to do the Andrew Grimes returning, then she tells him at the last episode.
For sure. Yeah. Will anyone get Rick's ending, and if so, who?
Aaron.
Yeah, we've kind of talked about it. We see it as Aaron, but I don't know. I really can't say right now, honestly.
I asked this in the previous video that we did. Do they give it to Maggie?
That'd be huge if they did.
It was huge in the source material.
That would be huge. Yeah. That's wild right there if it happened.
Right?
For sure. Yeah. How will you feel if the show ends with no Rick? We'd be pissed. They have to give us, we kind of go back to our definitive ending video. They have to get Rick back so Rick's ending is solidified in the show and not making us wait 5, 6, 10 years for these Rick movies to finish, to that being an alternative viewing if people want to view it, to find out his true ending.
I'd be absolutely livid.
I'll be pissed.
Yeah.
I'll be absolutely pissed.
Yeah.
All right, let's go with Marco. Do you think Morgan and Dwight will return in the final season? We kind of mentioned that in our previous video.
We mentioned that in the previous one, too.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, we hope so.
It'd be cool.
It would be really cool. And the timeline, I think we figured out, does line up and would work.
Yeah, we definitely could.
I would absolutely love that. It has to be Dwight and Sherry, though, of course.
Yeah, Dwight and Sherry, too. Yeah. All right, this is from Cash Money Chris.
Cash Money.
That's right. Also, do you think that Daryl will find out Rick is alive? Kind of goes with the Judith thing. If not in 11B, hopefully in 11C. But wouldn't you think if he found out he's alive, he would want to immediately leave and go find him or something?
But here's the thing. Is he going to find out he's alive, or that there's a possibility that he's alive? Like, that question,
right,
makes me think that he's going to get a definitive answer.
Right.
And truly, I don't think Judith really got a definitive answer.
I'm
sorry, not Judith, Michonne.
Michonne, no. I mean, she found his boot. She found the phone thing. So she's living on hope right now from the evidence that she has that he could be alive.
Yeah.
Unless Michonne radios Judith off screen and we don't see it and says, I found him. I don't know.
There's a possibility they could do that.
They could do
which
that.
Which would suck too.
It would suck if we didn't see it.
That would just be like, okay, we got to satisfy the fans. Let's throw this in even though we can't give them Andrew.
Yeah, for sure. This one is from Ian Adam McCraw. Do you think the show will take the comic book ending or a different ending? Well, it's definitely going to have a different ending because...
Hold on. Sorry.
All right, ready?
Yep.
Well, it's definitely going to have a different ending because the major players of the comic book ending, Rick, Michonne, Carl, aren't there.
Yeah,
Dwight,
but could they go on the same concept of a large jump of our characters in the future?
Well, yeah, it depends on what ending you're really talking about, Ian. Are you talking about the 25-year time jump, or are you talking about the Rick situation? Or both.
They can't. Well, we all know they can't do the Rick situation. Not in this timeline. Not in this storyline.
Well, I meant giving Rick's story to someone else, like we said.
Oh, absolutely.
Like Aaron or something. The
guys.
Yeah.
Sorry. Go ahead.
Well, I was going to say the 25-year skip. We kind of mentioned it in our last video. I don't think we would want to do that. It just wouldn't work. A few years could work, but not like 25 years.
No, guys, I definitely think that the Rick storyline is coming. It's just who are they going to give it to?
Right. Yeah. This one is from Callie. Here's a fun one. Where do you think Beth would be if she were still alive now?
Man.
What would have been her storyline up until this point?
Wow, that is a tough one. So here's what I think immediately, right? She's going to be close to Maggie, right?
Yeah.
I think that Beth would have followed Maggie closely. Gosh, where would she be now, though? Like, she's not always going to be with Maggie.
Right.
You could make an argument. I don't think Beth would have followed Maggie on the road and left her people, right?
Probably not.
She would have stayed with whatever community she, stayed in.
Yeah.
Man.
She'd probably stay close to Daryl. I mean,
I think so.
Her and Daryl didn't really have a romantic type relationship. It was more brother-sisterly, I think.
Yeah.
Some people thought it could have been romantic, but I think it was more like a brother-sister thing. And, if Maggie went with Georgie, she probably would have stayed in Alexandria and stayed around Daryl and things like that. So
absolutely.
Unless they'd have her unless they kill her in the Whisperer War or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. That was a good one. So this one is by Spectre Saunders. Do you think AMC are altering the source material to fit the story better by making everyone abandon Alexandria so all the characters and story are in the Commonwealth and not divided? It makes some sense as Alexandria is falling apart currently with a famine on the horizon.
Well, I mean, to be honest, it looks like they're going to stay in Alexandria. I mean, from the trailers that we've seen, there's a rebuilt Alexandria.
Yep.
And it seems like to me so far they're somewhat thriving.
Yeah.
I don't think that we're going to abandon Alexandria. I think that what's going to happen is the Commonwealth is going to get there, but see how much, I don't want to use this term, but poorer or in a worse situation Alexandria is when compared to the Commonwealth. And that's really going to feed to the we're higher class than you type of storyline that we expect to see.
Yeah, for sure. All right. We have, let's see.
But to add to that real quick, Alexandria was never supposed to hang around in the source material either.
Right.
It was supposed to be gone.
It was, yeah.
Like issue 69, I think.
Yeah. So here's one from Mario. Who do you think is going to get corrupt role within the Commonwealth, Pamela or Lance Hornsby? It's going to be Pamela. I mean, Lance, we haven't really got much of him yet. I mean, we're going to get it in 11B. I think they're going to fit both Pamela and Lance's story very close to the source material. Lance in the end, he was a good guy. I mean, he was doing what he was supposed to do with Pamela, and towards the end, he turned out, he was a good guy. He was fine.
He just doesn't come off like that.
He doesn't come
and
off
that's
like
exactly how they want the character to be.
Yeah, for sure. What is one big death prediction you have for 11B? Not for the end of the series, 11B. What's a big death that could happen in this second part?
Father Gabriel.
Father G, you think? Yep, he's already surpassed his comic book death already by surviving the Whisperer War.
Or another one, King Ezekiel.
Yeah, I'm kind of thinking it's big. He's a big character. I'm kind of thinking maybe Alden.
Oh yeah, Alden's not that big though.
Yeah,
he really hasn't got. When you're talking big, you want the screen time like Gabriel.
That's true. Because they did capitalize.
I do agree with you.
Yeah.
I don't think. I mean, Alden,
big character. Yeah. Father G, maybe. King Ezekiel. He's getting help with his disease. Maybe it lasts. What other big character could die? No. Man, that'd be big. That would be big if he did. Yeah, for me, I'd maybe say Father Gabriel. Not that I love Father Gabriel, but I'm just trying to think of a big character death.
Well, we know who's not dying.
Who? Oh yeah, Daryl and Carol. Thanks, AMC.
Yeah.
This one is by Harry. In season 9, this may not be. Oh, here we go. In season 9, Kelly said Connie was a journalist who exposed sleazeball politicians. Do you think it's possible Connie has a history with some of the higher ups in the Commonwealth?
Like from her past?
Yeah. That could be cool. That could be an interesting dynamic if she recognizes maybe some people in the political world that she knew or that they maybe worked together. Yeah. And maybe she can maybe she knows who that person used to be who was kind of, a skeezy person, and she's kind of like, watch out for them,
We haven't seen, so of course we haven't seen her yet, but there's going to be a point where she meets up with the same type of classy people. Yeah. Like that restaurant or that ball scene that we see in the trailer where they're all in the fancy clothes and they're in the ball. That seems like that'd be the situation where she's possibly might run into what you're talking about, some constituents or some people that she might know.
That could be cool.
Yeah,
it could be cool. This one's by Brandon Richards. Do you think anyone from Fear may unexpectedly cross over to Walking Dead towards the end of the season?
It's not going to happen 11B.
Yeah, well, you said to the end of the season.
That's why, yeah.
Not 11B, of course,
but it's not going to happen 11B. Could it happen in 11C? Yes, I would absolutely love.
For sure.
I'd love Morgan and Dwight, especially Dwight.
Yeah.
Morgan can stay. I'm good with that. Unless we get Rick, right? Then we want that Morgan reunion.
We want that reunion too.
But Dwight and Sherry.
For sure. But definitely, if the whole crew comes, like Madison, Alicia, like Daniel, everyone, like if Morgan, after they finish maybe Fear season 8 or something, and by the end, I don't know, it'd be so crazy.
We keep saying Dwight and Sherry.
I know.
Like it'd be nice, but what we're not considering is Negan's still there.
Yeah. I know.
Like, we keep saying that, but look, like they literally want to kill this guy. So when they get, maybe that's 11C conflict. Maybe they get there at the start of 11C.
Yeah.
And it's all about them trying to kill Negan.
Well, if they see how Negan is, they'd probably be able to deal with it.
Do you think that matters to Sherry?
Well, you got to think. It depends because, you know, over the years, by the time they get back to our Walking Dead timeline, it's been, 7 years.
Yeah, but dude.
But Sherry, she likes to hold on to a lot of things. Dwight's kind of already, in a way, kind of gotten past it. He really had to, in a way, force Sherry to get past it.
But Dwight's also seen the war, first of all.
He's seen the war.
And he's also seen Negan imprisoned.
Yeah.
So he knows the outcome. And she does know the outcome too. But when you
Right.
see that he's released...
Yeah, it could go crazy.
Anyway.
So this one's by Keegan Guy. Will Alden, we kind of already rid of this. Will Alden ever return, or are they setting up to be another Heath? They set up Alden's last episode, 11-3, too much to just have him disappear or just die off screen. I think the actor, he may have posted something on his social media that alluded to he's doing scenes, that he's gonna be, he's still alive, that he's going to be back. But
I find it so interesting.
They did leave that open.
That, like, we've had scenes with Maggie, right? After the events of that happening. Yet we didn't get her back at the church.
No.
Like, don't you find that interesting?
Yeah.
Like, they had, like, you could say a really nice moment that when she left, like, she was like, I'm coming back for you. And then we just don't get her coming back to Alden.
No.
Are we assuming that he's with the group and alive?
No. He barricaded himself in the church. He's bleeding out.
Anyway, but yes, I do think he'll return.
I hope so. Or they're not going to do another Heath because they've already racked our brains for years with Heath so far. So, all right, we're going to jump into our YouTube community page. We may be able to get through all these. If not, we don't want to make this extremely long video. But we'll start off with Darth Xenon 03. What's going on, Darth?
What's up, Darth?
Cool idea. For post-credit scene, at the end of 11B, we see someone's feet and legs in a uniform. They kill a walker, and it's revealed to be a CRM soldier. And in the distance, they see the Commonwealth or a sign. What do you guys think? The CRM has to show up at some point this season. After World Beyond, they made it clear that they are the big bad of this universe. I kind of mentioned in a tweet that one of our Johnny's 5 Alive, who does amazing artwork, he posted a kind of a picture of a CRM helicopter outside Alexandria. I kind of tweeted and said, I don't really want to see CRM show up in the next 2 parts unless it's Rick who stole a CRM helicopter and he's coming home.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
I really want to keep CRM out of this. Now,
do you want to keep them out the whole series, or do they maybe add CRM? Like, the way I see it going down is...
You have to think that you have to hopefully think the Commonwealth and CRM know about each other. And Gimple did kind of give a tease to say that they do know about each other, but do we really want a CRM Commonwealth war? That's what a lot of people have been wanting. I just don't know if I want that, because it's gonna take away from it's gonna take away a bit of the comic book ending that they're doing, and also take away from the TV show ending if they throw in CRM all badass into this final chapter.
It does, it wouldn't make sense. It doesn't fit, to be honest.
It'd be too fast.
And I think that it's really, it's not really giving the show like any justice, right? Like, I say end the show like you were going to end, like we should end the show. And then, could it be a post-credit scene? Sure.
Post-credit could be cool.
Yeah.
Post-credit could be cool where they have some CRM soldiers, coming upon Alexandria.
11B and 11C. 11B is going to introduce the conflict of Commonwealth.
Yep. It's going to start.
And 11C is going to finish that conflict. And the end of 11C is going to roll into what the world looks like, I imagine.
Hopefully.
After all this is over.
Exactly. Yeah, for sure. This one is by... Ozbej, can't pronounce it, I apologize. What will Negan's story be in 11B? I'm kind of worried he'll be pushed to the sidelines, because in 11A, a lot of side characters, Lydia among others, were kind of given less screen time than usual. So as long as we have some Negan, I'm cool with that. We definitely want Negan.
We do.
Yeah, his story, guys, it's all basically made up right now because he was nothing in the Commonwealth arc.
It is. And look,
he's doing well right now with Maggie. I'm kind of seeing him and Maggie and Negan like really working together. They're getting along. Negan told the truth.
I do like that.
Unfortunately, he told the truth and said, "I would have killed all of you," which it's true. He would have.
Yeah, I do. I do like that. Wouldn't a storyline like they finally start to make amends? Like I think they're starting that right now, or he is starting to do that right now. But at the same time, their relationship is difficult, obviously.
Sure. Yeah.
But some storyline where like he pretty much vows to her that like I'm going to stay by your side no matter what and protect you as almost like a penance to what I did to you.
Exactly.
That would be cool.
That would be cool. Yeah. I mean, I think Negan's not really going to be sitting in the sidelines for sure. I think he'll be front and center. I mean, he'll have some good scenes. He'll be with Maggie. It'll be interesting to see. Yeah, his story will be interesting when the Reaper story gets over with. Yeah. Because Negan's really part of the Reaper story right now. What will his story be with the Commonwealth? I don't think Negan would love to go to the Commonwealth.
That's going to be
you know what I'm saying?
Really interesting.
Would they have Negan go inside the Commonwealth? We haven't seen scenes of him there, but
God, that'd be sweet.
He'd be a gym teacher.
Negan standing right up against Mercer.
Oh, God. They would have have Sebastian talk to Negan.
Oh, dude, he would smack the shit out of him.
Have Pamela talk to
look,
Negan.
We talk about Negan as like old Savior Negan. Like he's changed quite a bit.
He's done with Savior Negan.
Yeah. But gosh, I'd love for him to just little spurts of that Savior Negan to come back.
Oh, for sure. All right, this one is by Ethan. What do you guys know? What do you guys know about something called West Alliance, which is connected to Commonwealth? I wonder if this is related to CRM or even if it's a new big group. Do you think that they are going to show us more about this West Alliance in 11B?
Well, was there anything about the West Alliance?
I'm kind of forgetting that.
I don't know if there was a Western Alliance being referenced in the show. Guys, correct us if we're wrong. Look, there's definitely a Western Alliance in the source material. And there's an Eastern Alliance in the source material.
Yeah.
And what we've always talked about, and one thing I've mentioned is, what if in the show the Western Alliance obviously is, or the Eastern Alliance, I'm sorry, is obviously our crew.
Yeah.
That's our group. That's our survivors. That's our survivors in the source material as well. That's a fact. But what if the Western Alliance, which happens to be or is promoted as a friendly alliance, is actually CRM Commonwealth or CRM? Right. And obviously, it's not an alliance, as we've seen in the past how they do alliances.
Yeah.
And I could definitely see our Commonwealth talking about an Eastern Alliance, and that is the reference that maybe Gimple was talking about.
Yeah, for sure. This one is by Brandy Proctor. Will the Reapers be killed in the opening of the first episode?
I'd love them to be.
I'm kind of hoping they are.
Yeah, to be honest. Look, it was nice while we had it, but guess what? Yeah. It just I'm sorry, 6, 7 guys,
maybe 10, 15.
Maybe 10. Yeah. Not scary at all. Sorry.
I came across Kirsten Acuna, who's on Twitter. She works for Insider. She just recently finished an interview with Lynn Collins, who plays Leah. She kind of said that Leah. And she kind of said that Leah is on her own now. Now, she could have been referencing, she's on her own now without Pope, even though that she might have her other group with her.
Yeah, meaning she's the lone
leader.
She's the Pope.
Or it could mean she's alone now. Kind of that picture that we saw of her in the trailer where she doesn't have her black getup anymore. Yeah. Because she kind of said in the interview that she's on the run.
It certainly looks like she is, like almost like the group found out that she worked with Daryl a little bit, and maybe cast her out,
right? And then, or they maybe killed all the Reapers, and she's the only one left, and she's on the run now by herself. So we hope the Reaper story is over pretty quick, because that story was kind of boring. It had some cool parts to it, but it was more filler and more kind of connecting storylines for Daryl and Leah.
If you had introduced the Reaper story seasons ago, right? And introduce that group, and given them more time, probably would have been a lot more meaningful than now.
Right. Yeah. We got time for maybe a couple more, guys. We're coming up on half an hour. This one is by WLR. Do you think Rick will be mentioned to the Commonwealth as the former leader of our group? Does Rick even get mentioned at all? I don't know. That's tough. Do you think they... I mean, I don't know how...
The only way that it would come up, because I think you were just going to ask, I don't know how it would be referenced. Was that what you were going to say?
Yeah, unless it's like when Pamela comes to Alexandria and they ask, like, how did this start? And they kind of mention Rick, like, it started this way, Rick built this up, and
dude,
you know what I'm saying? Something to that effect.
You know what should be done? Is a statue should be there in Alexandria. Like, I'm serious. Like, they should put, or at least have some type of memorial.
Yeah.
I guess that's our people saying we give up, he's gone. And maybe, why haven't they done that?
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah.
Like, why hasn't our survivors, look, to them, they think Rick's gone and he's dead.
Yeah.
So why is there not some type of memorial for what he built there?
Yeah.
That drives me nuts. But anyway, it would be nice to see the governor come to Alexandria and see something like that, and then it gets discussed. But sweet. I just don't know how in context that would be brought up unless she asks who built this, like you said.
For sure. All right, I think maybe...
How many more do we have?
Maybe one more. We have a lot, but we're coming up.
How many is a lot?
Quite a bit.
A part 2?
Yeah, we could maybe do a part 2, yeah. Here's one. How would you rank the Season 11A episodes? They're pretty good. They weren't too bad. The Reaper stuff was good. It was a little short.
I really enjoyed
especially with Pope.
I mean, obviously really enjoyed the Maggie and Negan stuff, and really enjoyed the Daryl and Pope stuff, right? How would I rank them? I'd have to go on my memory, and I'm terrible at memory.
Yeah, I'd say it was a good maybe 7 out of 10 for me.
Oh, you're ranking the whole thing?
Yeah.
Like, just rating it?
Yeah. No, 7 out of 10 for me.
Yeah.
You know, the Reaper story kind of, it drug a little bit. Little bits and pieces of the Commonwealth were good. I'm glad they kind of gave us those bits and pieces. And as we go along, we're going to get more and more and more. Sorry, go ahead.
I just think it seemed filler to me, and I just didn't buy that the Reapers were that serious of a threat.
No, they didn't have that. They only had like 20 dudes.
Yeah.
So, all right, last one, guys. Do you think the riots will start at the end of part 2?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We are going to be
in the Commonwealth.
That is going to thrust us into part C.
Yeah, for sure.
100%. And I think we saw a little shot of that in the trailer.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I'm sure they'll probably do a cliffhanger like they did, and hopefully they won't show an immediate trailer following the cliffhanger so we all know what happens, supposedly. But I think that would be a good ending to part 2, is showing the riots at the Commonwealth and things going out of control, that they're kind of, the people are standing up to the Commonwealth. They don't want to be ruled like this anymore with high class, middle class, low class, and they're really starting to see the evilness of Pamela Milton. And with our group being there, they're getting a better sense of what a community is from our people.
Well, we need to see that. We haven't seen that yet.
Yeah.
And we will.
Yeah, we will.
Yeah,
we will. Guys, so this was awesome, and apologize we couldn't get to everybody's questions, but you guys submitted some really amazing questions, and so stay tuned for our reactions. One quick thing, our Facebook page has been removed due to copyright. Unfortunately, they didn't give us a chance to remove the videos. We got like 2 AMC copyrights, and Facebook removed it. So we are looking at possibly getting into Patreon,
which we kind of were trying to avoid as long as possible, because we don't want to be charging anyone for shit.
Yeah. So we'll be looking at something to get our full reactions up for you guys, but currently right now, Facebook is kind of gone at the moment. So.
Yeah, guys, like I said, we've tried to avoid going that route for a long time, because do you have to charge? I don't know.
Yeah.
You do. Yeah.
Yeah.
And see, that's the thing that sucks. Like, I don't want to have to charge people.
Yeah.
Like, we do this for fun. We don't do this to make money. We don't make money. That sucks.
Yeah.
Like, I've never been removed off of a social media platform.
It's freaking crazy, guys. So if you enjoyed, make sure you smash the like button, subscribe if you're new. Stay tuned for our reactions coming up for part B of The Walking Dead. We are super pumped. Thank you so much for the love and support, and we will see you next time. I'm Jarrell.
I'm Josh.
We're NocBro Nation. We're out.